Load-bearing wire rope lanyards. A wire rope lanyard is a tether used for loss prevention or to prevent an item from being misplaced when not in use. All of our wire rope lanyard assemblies are available as either an uncoated bare wire or coated wire. Common coatings or jackets include nylon or PVC. The wire rope is made from a 7x7 aircraft cable. 7x7 aircraft cable consists of a single strand of a wire that is made up of a braid of 7 wires intertwined that then get braided together with 7 more strands of the like, making the wire very strong. Wire rope lanyards are stocked in both stainless and galvanized wire. Standard lanyards are stocked and readily available in both 6-inch and 12-inch sizes. Custom sizes are available upon request. Terminus ends are the various fastening components used to secure the lanyard to the application. Common termination variations such as loops, tabs, split rings, and stake eyes are available. Stake eyes and tabs contain a hole where a bolt or screw will be inserted and bolted onto a piece of equipment or machinery. Loops and split rings are also used in cases where the loop or ring can be affixed to the unit around a rod of some sort. Loops and tabs are made by adding a figure 8 crimp, where we loop the wire around and insert it back into the crimp, and then we crush the crimp. Wire rope lanyards may be assembled onto Innovative's extensive line of quick-release pins such as positive locking pins, detent pins, lynch pins, and wire lock pins. Moving on to the part code guide. Wire rope lanyards are composed of a 15-digit smart part code. All important attributes of the lanyard are broken up into categories and listed out on the part code guide. Follow the color-coded guide to translate the description into an Innovative Components part number. Located at the bottom of each guide is the layout of the smart part code. Use this to guide you when creating a part number. To start, take notice that the product listed in the red section is a wire rope lanyard load bearing. This means that the lanyard must withstand a certain load rating or be able to withhold a specified amount of weight for a specified amount of cycles. All load-bearing wire rope lanyard part numbers will be a 2-digit designator taking up the very first 2 spaces and will start with LB. Next we move on to the orange section labeled wire diameter. We allot 4 placeholders for the diameter within the part code in spaces number 3, 4, 5, and 6. Actual wire diameter is listed in fractional measurement, like 3/64 or 3/64. If the wire is coated, the coated diameter will always be referenced in the specs, but the part number will call out the bare wire diameter. Next we move on to the green section called length. We allocate 5 digits to the length section in spaces number 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Spaces number 7 and 8 are for full inches, and spaces number 9, 10, and 11 are for 3 decimal places. Exception: if the lanyard is a green coated lanyard, the length is only 4 digits with the 5th decimal place as an automatic X. Length is called out by measuring center of terminus to center of terminus, not end of lanyard to end of lanyard. 6 inches would be written out as 06000 or 06, pretend there's a decimal, 000. Whereas 12.5 inches would be written out in the part code as 12500, or pretend there's a 12.500. Next we move on to the blue section called terminus ends. There are 2 terminus ends for each lanyard. There are 2 placeholders for terminus ends in placeholders number 12 and 13 of the part code. Terminus ends are the various fastening components used to secure the lanyard to the application. The part code guide shows that we typically have loops, stake eyes, split rings, and tabs as common terminus ends. Each attribute translates to a single number or letter. For example, a 1/4-inch loop would be written as a 1 in the part code. A stake eye with a 5/16 hole would be called out as a D within the part number. There is no front or back to a lanyard, so the letters can sometimes be flip-flopped within inventory. When looking up part codes, check it both ways. For example, you might see LN 3/64, 18000, 3B 7N, or you might see LN 3/64, 18000, B3 7N. Notice the B3 or 3B can be flip-flopped. Really, it's the same exact part number. If a terminus N that is not specified is being used, we use an X to signify to our team that there is something custom about this part and to read the description or the blueprint. Next in purple is wire material. We designate one space holder in space number 14 for this attribute. Typical materials are stainless steel and galvanized steel. If a material that is not specified is being used, we use an X to signify to our team that there is something custom about this part's material and to read the description or the blueprint. Lastly, we specify the coatings or jacket. We designate one space holder in space number 15 for this attribute. If there is no coating, we use 0 for bare. If there is a jacket, we need to know the material. Typical materials are clear nylon or clear PVC, which are a kind of cloudy, milky white, clear color. In cases of a load-bearing lanyard, if there is a jacket or coating, the location where the terminus ends are crimped must be stripped down to bare wire. It is the crimping onto the bare wire that gives it more strength. This will automatically happen in cases of an LB part number. Now that we know how to use the part code guide, let's move on to the practice quiz and put it to use. Load-bearing wire rope lanyard quiz. Number 1. Load-bearing 3/64 by 7 stainless steel wire lanyard with 1-inch loop and number 10 stake eye. To begin, we look at the part code guide. We see that the product starts with an LB. Next, we have to identify the wire diameter. The wire diameter is 3/64. We would load that into the part code as 3/64. Actual wire diameter is listed in fractional format. If the wire is coated, the coated diameter will always be referenced in the specs, while the actual wire diameter is listed in the part number. Next, we move on to the length. Number 1 says the length is 7 inches. 7 inches would convert to 0,
Or
7,
you might see LN
0, 0,
3/64.
Next, we move on to terminus
0,
ends.
B3
Terminus ends are
7N.
1-inch loop.
Notice
and
the
number
B3
10
stake
or
eye.
3B can
A
be
1-inch
flip-flopped.
loop translates
Really,
to
it's
a
the same
4.
exact part
A
number.
number 10 stake eye
If a terminus
translates
end
to
that
a
is not
B.
specified is being
Next,
used,
we move on to the material.
we use an
material
X to
is
signify to our
stainless
team
steel.
that there is something custom
Stainless
about
steel
this
will
part and to
translate
read the
to a
description
7.
or the blueprint.
Next, we move on to the coating.
Next
Number
in
1
purple
does not
is wire
specify
material.
any coating or jacket.
We designate
Therefore,
one
we
space
would
holder
enter
in
a
space
0
number
for
14
bare
for this
into the
attribute.
coating or plating
Typical
designated.
materials are
Number
stainless
1's part
steel
code would
and
read
galvanized steel.
LB.
If a material that is not specified is being
3/64.
used, we use an X to
0,
signify to
7,
our team that there is something custom
0,
about this
0,
part's material
4,
and to read the
B,
description or the blueprint.
7, 0. Number 2.
Lastly, we specify the
10-inch
coatings or
wire
jacket.
rope lanyard.
We designate
1/8
one space holder in
galvanized
space
steel
number 15 for this
with a
attribute.
nylon jacket.
If
and
there
a
is no
1/4 inch
coating,
loop
we use
and a
0
number
for
8
bare.
stake eye.
If there is a
Load-bearing.
jacket,
To start,
we need to
this
know the
part number is
material.
going to start with an LB.
Typical materials
Next,
are
move
clear
on to the
nylon
wire
or
diameter.
or
the wire
clear
diameter
PVC,
is 1/8.
which are a kind of
That
cloudy,
would be
milky
written
white,
as 1
clear color.
slash 8. Take notice that we
Now
have
that we
4
know how to use the
placeholders
part
for the
code guide,
orange
let's
wire
move on to the
diameter
practice quiz
section
and put
of
it
the
to
part
use.
code. 1/8 will only take up 3 digits. Therefore, in the 4th placeholder, we would put an automatic dash. Next, we move on to the green section. That's for length. The length is 10 inches. 10 inches would look like 1, 0, 0, 0, 0 in the part code. Terminus ends. We have a 1/4 inch loop and a number 8 stake eye. A 1/4 inch loop translates to a 1. A number 8 stake eye translates to an A. Next, we move on to the material. This says galvanized steel. Galvanized steel translates to a G. Then we move on to the coating. The coating says nylon. A nylon jacket translates to an N. Number 2's part code would read LB 1/8 dash 1 0 0 0 0 1A GN. Remember, the terminus N can also be flip-flopped. So instead of 1A, it could be A1. Number 3. 3/64 by 18-inch PVC coated 7x7 stainless steel load-bearing wire lanyard with 1/2 inch loop and 1.5 inch loop. The product will start with an LB. Next, we identify wire diameter. The wire diameter is 3/64. In the part code, it would read 3/64. Moving on to the green section, length, we see it's an 18-inch lanyard. Therefore, we would enter in a 18000. Next, we move on to the terminus ends. This is a 1/2 inch loop and a 1.5 inch loop. 1/2 inch loop translates to a 2. A 1.5 inch loop translates to a 6. Next, we move on to the material. The material is stainless steel. Stainless steel translates to a 7. Then we move on to the coating. The coating is PVC. PVC translates to a P. Number 3's part code would read LB 3/64 18000 267P. Please finish the rest of the quiz.